You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
789. Okay, there we go. Happy Monday, Carla. Rita. Great. People are here that we don't always see here. It's nice. Let you take a look at me. Tara says she hopes her cat is okay. Jackie. Yeah, so let's see, where have we got here? There we go, a little bit better. Okay, hey everybody. Let's see. Yeah, I can't quite, okay. All right, just realized something. Okay, hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday to everybody. I did a spontaneous sort of last minute jam on Sunday, and it wasn't super watched. I didn't think it would be, but it was really fun. I had a good time doing it. I know I see a lot of you were here. Okay, good. Oh. So anyway, I did this spur of the minute jam out of nowhere. Hey, Anastasia. And I had a good time doing it. So it made me think that I might be doing this a little bit more. You know, but I still don't want to commit to a regular pattern of it yet. So if I do get to there, I'll let you know. But it would definitely be sort of morning stuff from here on out. I don't think I'm going to be doing too many afternoon stuff, just because it just doesn't work out in my schedule. So anyway, and then I know at the end of that jam, although there weren't too many people watching, I forgot my water. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot my water. Okay, so at the end of that jam, I mentioned that I might be doing a myth and flow class, but that did not work out, and so I'm sorry. I was looking back, it has been a minute since we've done a myth and flow class, especially one where there's like actual storytelling. But I will try to make that happen for next week's class. But for tonight, what I was feeling that I wanted to do and work on was folding. And I'm just noticing we had a pretty successful class. Don't adjust your TV. My green screen is, my shirt is just a little green according to according to my camera. Anyway, the last time we did a folding class where it was just on folding was called Folding Like a Boss. And I think that was a Thursday night class, and it was meant to be foundational. Tonight we're going to do a folding class, and we're going to try to keep it sort of 50-50. I'm going to try to keep it tech flow. So what really, to help us do that, probably I will introduce a concept or a technique or an actual move, and then we'll play with it for a song. And so we'll sort of bounce. You know, it won't be like a pure tech class where I never stop talking. So we're going to start with that. And then tonight's, what we're going to get into, hopefully, is, I don't know if you guys can really see the image behind me. There we go. But this image is actual origami. And you can see, like, what I like about it is just how fluid it looks. It doesn't really, and I think that this is like a sort of abstract origami where they do different kinds of techniques. But you can see that it's just hard to even tell it's been folded, and it just looks so sort of organic. And that's really the concept behind some of what we're going to be trying to do tonight, is to sort of soften our folds so that they don't really even look like folds, or that we don't even think of them that way. But all of this stuff will just sort of play out in the exercises, but tonight, to keep me on track and keep me on theme, it's folding with shapes and forms. So I'm going to play. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think I'll play sort of old school. No, let's do something, all right, never mind. We're going to do something super slow. Okay. Rex is back as well. If you haven't watched before, Rex gets a little freaked out during the sway. So he gets excited, according to Tara. All right, so we're going to start kind of slow. Oop. Okay. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Tonight's class is about shape and form. And tonight we're going to explore the interplay between those two. The idea is that we see a shape and then we try to become that shape. And in the process of doing that, we feel the form we take. See triangles, my body can begin to push itself into a triangle. And I can feel my form. And my form in some way, hopefully, becomes the shape. Audible breath in. Breath in. Audible breath in. Open. Okay, music may have been a little soft for that last one, I'm not sure. Okay. All right. So, if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and that was cool. If you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and jump into there we go into our hoops. Hey Danielle, you're here. You guys, this is so cute. Oh boy, Rex does not want to yield. Drive me crazy. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. That's not bad. Okay. All right. Yeah, Rex really is adorable. Okay, so let me. God, it's driving me crazy. There we go. All right. Okay. Folding. Okay, so for our first exercise and folding with shapes, we're actually going to not do that much folding right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to step into, I'll go ahead and put the music on so you can sort of find me. But what we want to do is begin to associate the hoop and folding the hoop with a shape. And so what I want you to imagine right now is as you move, you are creating maybe those super large bubbles or something, right? That as you move, you can create one of those like giant festival size bubbles that you blow. And that's a super basic but open concept. And what I invite you to do, and what I hope that you'll sort of feel naturally, is how as you're creating these shapes, the rest of your body is moving and opening and coordinating. It's okay, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come on. So I'll show you a little bit of more of what I'm talking about. Like if I wanted to create like vertical type bubbles, right? Or if I wanted to wrap that bubble completely over me, like I'm bringing it almost like it's a blanket. Nice tea. Definitely played with this one before, but you know that sort of Taurus. This is where I'm rolling the hoop out, like I'm drawing this big bubble around me, but then I'm letting it come all the way around. the way that eventually your arm is going to have to either break or twist, right? So what I was doing was, as it was coming around here, and it comes to here, I'm going underhand. You see right? And then what I was doing was just sort of slipping in the next grip to, like, if I wanted to make it, like, look, see, I used to do this a lot to try and make it look continuous. Oh, I can't remember what I used to do. I know there's a lot of people that do this move. I'm sure there are just as many that do it better than me. But this is here, it comes around. Feel that sensation anyway, I can't just move the hoop around me like I was drawing like one continuous type bubble. Then that can come up or whatever. Any thoughts, comments, babe? Okay. All right, we're just going to keep going then. All right. Actually, maybe I'll just keep music playing in the background. I'll just turn it up and down as we go. Okay. So for the next exercise, we're going to make sure I got my math here. Well, actually, you know what? We're going to skip ahead to a different track for this. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to focus on shape in a little bit different way, and we're going to think more angular. Well, actually, I want to sort of change that. Let me reset this a little bit, because what we're going to talk about is about how we can create we're going to use shape to create a form in this case, and the fold will be sort of secondary to that. But I'm holding the hoop, the shape I'm in is the circle, and I wanted my body to create the form that makes this circle look as though it's pretty much just staying here and it's moving along the same axis, right? I clearly need to work on this. Boom, boom, here's a little bit better. I'm never really good at this kind of thing. But you're in a linear shape right now, right? That's at least what we think we're doing. For instance, the hoop is in one line here, and when I reverse it, it's in the same line, right? Boom. Boom. Let me bring the music in here. And so what we're going to play with, or open with, now this is a 50-50 class, so you don't have to do any of these suggestions, right? This is all for our own enjoyment. So Tara could spin, even though she's right there in front of me, she could spin off and do whatever she wants to. But what I'm inviting you to try is I'm going to keep a shape, which is the circle in front of me right now, the sun, and then I'm going to fold that and then hit that shape again. And then my form will slowly get better on its own, and then when I start to apply a little bit of, intention and art and dance to it, rhythm to it, so I'll show you a couple of different things here. This is if I'm going from like a very sort of orthodox east to west or west to east or whatever, right? And then this would be if I was going north to south, right? And even though it's maybe not the most impressive looking move, just learning to walk like in a constant, you see how I'm doing the sort of vertical version of what we were just doing? And I can reverse that, right? I'm going to reverse it. I got to swing this one out and push that one down, right? Good. And then maybe kind of obvious, maybe it's not, but I can go off to a 45 and then come down here with that. Okay, so my hand is more like at 4 o'clock and it's going up here to 10 o'clock or whatever. And so you can create like a lot of just cool folds and like hand strength drills and arm strength drills by just taking this very basic principle that we just did. Corner, to corner, to corner, to corner. Right? Clearly, I need to work on my isolation, but you get the point. Hey, all right, so this next one, let me know if you guys are with me, if I need to slow down or change something up or anything at all, just let me know, just keep me posted. That's pretty good. Okay, so the next shape that we're gonna work with here is a circle. And if you have a big hoop like mine, this is a little bit tricky to do this exercise, but if you have a more reasonable, smaller hoop, you could go ahead and grab that hoop now if you wanted to. But what we're going to focus on right now is what if I'm creating this giant beach ball, you know, or this giant sphere with my hoop, right? And that instead of thinking like I'm going to jump from one wall to another wall, now it's like the whole hoop is just this rolling thing, right? And then just like, you can almost imagine just any kind of like sort of CGI drawing of this, like how quickly it could change and be a circle somewhere, right? And a lot of hoopers have taken to like doing those sort of spinny things like off of this, like, you know, around their necks or whatever. But that's kind of the same concept. So I've got this, instead of a circle now, I've got more of a sphere. And then, you know, if you have the reach for it, you can try to do these like sort of continuous ones. And this is where having a small hoop can really help, right? Because like my arms are barely long enough. I'm kind of having to cheat to make this happen. No, why that's important is not so much that you're probably going to end your show, the finale of your show will be you doing this, but that motion helps open up a lot of like gooey warrior type stuff. Because you start to realize like, oh, the hoop is like this giant ball that is rolling around me that I'm trying to keep my hands on, right? All right. So now we're going to play with spheres. And of course you can, hey Nama, of course you can get off this train at any point and stay with where you were. Now somebody might say, well, why is this folding? Well, it's folding in the sense that if there's a vertical line here, like I am folding over the center line. So what's folding is down there. Oh, that's cool. Monday to use. Nice T. staying on the hoop. This is definitely still folding, right? So the shape, I'm imagining giant beach ball. Gotten into point folding. I'm not saying it's the best or anything, but point folding for some people is just the cat's meow. Because when I'm in the hoop is in point, and you don't have to try this now, but when the hoop is in point, or when I'm using very little grip on it, for some of us, it causes the hoop to just glide look a little bit smoother, right? My thumbs are more clumsy, right? So when I'm in point and I'm folding, it can get really quick. And I can break a lamp, but it can get really quick. Flowing, you know, I'm sure you're not even considering or thinking about just how good this is for your body. You're having fun, you're thinking shapes creating form and all that sort of stuff. This is so good for your body, right? And if you're somebody like me that came off of an injury, you can use the hoop to help you sort of wake up the parts you don't know are asleep. For instance, like in this movement that we were just doing here, like my left side was what went inactive for me. So I could use the hoop to push against my right side into my left side. And it kind of wakes up both of those, even though I'm... Oh, nice, Megan. Sweet. Okay, so that was our sphere-y type stuff. And there is one more that we're going to do a little bit just to kind of mix it up a little bit. And this is sort of based on what I was just saying, but we're going to work on... Yeah, I do want to do this. Okay, so what I want you to do is put the hoop beside you, or just lean the hoop beside you at whatever distance you can. And then we're going to do, we've sort of introduced this about like 3 or 4 classes now. This is the old Dustin trick, where I'm just going to lean the hoop up against me, right? And then just use my arms and my weight and my sense of balance with it to kind of create movement, right? No, I know it's a little nerdy, and it is, right? But this is just a movement technique. This isn't something the audience would pay to see, right? But what I can do is sort of feel how if I lean into it, if I lean away from it, right? How that, right? Now, where this comes into tonight's class and the shapes is that if I start to put some push on this, I can start to feel like the hoop fold again, right? Like this is, again, in my language, this is folding. Just spinning the hoop would be folding, right? So as it's here, right, it's kind of folding on the ground here. I'll show you some of this in bird's eye so you can. So the hoop is leaning against me, right? And then, you know, I'm just creating this, and same thing like if I went over, you know, the kids are doing that a lot these days with the hoops. Everybody is doing that, you know, but any sort of thing with that, right? And so basically what I'm talking about is you're creating sort of a shape with leverage, right? And so it's like I'm creating, like if I'm here and I'm just in a linear, right, I can put some kind of knock on it. There's my sphere again, and whatever, right? And then where I'm really taking this, and then we'll play some music, is into some just like wrist. Let's talk about wrist, not so much point, but just wrist. So if I lean the hoop against me and I go in and I fold my hands out like that, then I can hold the hoop's weight there, right? So I'm going to come, the hoop's leaning against me, I'm going to go in, right, and then out. So I'm folded up under the hoop, right? Exactly. And so then if I start to move my hands around, good, T. Good, nice. And so where I'm going with all of this, just in case it's not clear, is I can be doing that stuff that I was just doing. I can be playing with my legs and trying to, keep the hoop up or whatever, right? And then I can go in with wrist and bring the hoop up, and now I've got it up like where I normally work with it. And it works the same way going back downstairs, right? And so what I'm saying is this wrist pickup, if it were, this like way of getting it with the wrist can really kind of like help sort of be a bridge between what you're doing in like lower half type stuff and then the upper half. All right, let's see, I don't think, oh, no, what's going on? We don't want that. Okay, there we go. Did I play this one? Fire away if you have any questions, guys. God, this is when I wish we did have a Zoom so I could see what cool shit you guys are doing right now. That would be fun. Just giving you a chance to play with all these different techniques or not. And we'll go another 2 minutes and then we'll add a little bit, another layer. was nice. T. You're natural for that one. Oh yeah, okay, so I wanted to do one more different type of folding here that's related, I think, to the shape talks. Maybe I'm just squeezing in a technique I shouldn't, but so I want you to feel yeah, that's a cool song. All right, so I want you to feel what being inside the hoop feels like and how folds can originate from being inside the hoop. I mean, this is, you'll know what I mean. Okay, so I'm inside the hoop right now, and one thing I want you to feel is just feel like what happens if I push, right? Just feeling that compression, so like what's holding the hoop right now is just my arms being straight out and I'm just holding the hoop by suspension, right? You know, whatever. And I can take that feeling. Some of you with smaller hoops can really do this a lot more than maybe I can. Mine's a 38. But you can use this feeling of being inside of the hoop and holding it with compression to kind of do these cool sort of chesty type smears and moves like that. I'm really realizing how inflexible I am right now. There used to be a fun way that you could go into this or get out of this, which was just to turn with the hoop and then just press into it until you had complete control of it. So like, let's say I'm shoulder hooping, I'm gonna turn, press, now I've got like complete control of it, and it's sort of held in this sort of suspension. Nice, T. And then of course, like we've talked about in other classes, like if I'm holding the hoop here in this way, if I tilt, nice T, if I tilt my spine over, then I've just folded the hoop again. And so not all of our folds have to be oriented going the same way all the time. And then the last thing I want to say about this interior fold, and maybe I shouldn't have tried to cram this in at the last here, but I think it'll work. So I'm inside the hoop right now, and I'm holding the hoop, but instead of using like at compression points or suspension points, I'm letting the hoop hang, right? So the hoop is just hanging here, and I can feel it on my night side. And then without pushing into it right now, it's almost like I've, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen anybody play. There's so much wind at Burning Man. I don't know if you've ever seen them. There's always at least one person at sunrise that's playing with their scarf. It's a requirement at Burning Man. There's somebody doing that, and that you can sort of imagine that sort of feel with what I'm talking about right now. And so as I'm letting the hoop hang here, I'm also feeling the smear point, you know, like you would if it was a scarf or something that you were playing with. And so you can feel the point of contact that the hoop is making with you. And think of that like if that was a soft cloth, pleasant feeling. I hope this song doesn't get us kicked off. We're probably already off, but if it's hopefully it won't. So I'm inside the hoop. Good. Actually, nice. I didn't mention it, but what Tara was doing over there is a pretty fun technique as well, which is keeping the arm high and just being inside and feeling the hoop walk around. So what we're doing right now, if you feel lost, is instead of being outside the hoops, you know, instead of it being the sphere, we're inside of it. This is the compression I was talking about. This is if I push it onto my back. Increasingly unclear. I traveled far. Nobody does them anymore, but they used to, you could. It's hard to with hoops, but you can do a stop break, which is where you just push your hand into it and just stop the hoop. But from the inside, where it's like this by compression, right? I'm just pushing. They're hard. But this is if I do that play that we were working with before.
One thing on my mind, searching boxes underneath.
See how I can flatten it by just pushing the hand in so it builds contact on that. Let it hang. Roll.
Someone who needs somewhere to long for. Someone who needs somewhere to long for.
If you miss with the stop break, it turns into the world's most aggressive paddle ever. Okay. All right. Sweet. There I am. Okay. How are we doing, everybody? I hope we're doing good. We're going to do one more exercise. We're going to do one more exercise of folding and creating a shape, and we're going to finish up with balance. And that's because actually this folding technique, you usually don't think about balance and folding, but they actually really can work quite well together. And we've done the door knocker move before. Oops. We've done the door knocker move before to get into the balance, and this is where we swing the hoop out, drop our hands, look up there, and catch the hoop and hold it in balance, right? So I'll show you from the side, you'll get a sense. So this is exactly what we started tonight by doing when we were going back and forth. It's the same thing, right? The hoop is in a line. You can see it in the camera there. There, it's in a line, and I'm going to swing out, drop the hands, and then look, I'm in the same line again, okay? So this is a fold, right? So there we are. I can do it again. Drop your hands. The secret is to drop your hands, by the way. If you can't get your hands to drop, you drop. Anybody drops. And then I've showed you these before, but this is a great drill if you're into sort of drills. And this is where I'm going to go from, I'm going to swing the hoop out. It's going to be a little, instead of it being right in front of me like that, I'm going to bring it to the side. Now this is one of those that the momentum really helps you. So I'm out here. I'm going to swing it out, up, then back down, then up. Nice, that worked. Then down. Sweet. Up. So let me show you what this would look like. And I'm going to give you an honest effort, right? But I want you to see, like, it's not about being perfect. This is like about doing a fit of breaks or something. What you're really developing is the feeling of balance. So it doesn't matter if you hit it or not. You're up there, and then before you lose it, I'm back here. And then before you lose it, I'm back here. Or if you want, Rex, leave your mama alone. I'm here, and I'm here, So let me show you one thing, and this is, hopefully I'll be able to bridge this, and then we'll get back to the music. For those of you that are working on balance, or more specifically, for those of you that are trying to get balance into your flow, like you like doing balance, you haven't found a way to flow there, one of the things you can do is learn how to transition out of the fall of the hoop. In fact, in HoopPath, this is a whole technique called tipping, and we're not going to talk about it right now, but tipping is where you intentionally tilt the plane over so that you can do something cool with it. So if I was working on, let's say I want to work on this kind of balance, right? Well, what I might want to do if I'm here is develop a cool thing to do if it falls behind me, right? Like, for instance, that move we were just doing, that would work there, right? Like if I swung the hoop up and it starts to fall, I'm just going to let it fall and be behind me, and then boom, I've got this new amount of momentum and stuff like that to work on. If I wanted to work on this type of balance where the hoop is out in front of me and I'm just holding it on the back of my hand or palm or whatever, but it's out in front of me, then if the hoop starts to fall, maybe I step into it and I do that 2-point move that we've been working on. Right, and so here's my greater point, and I'll put the music on, is that the more you can turn these falls of the hoop into transitions, I'm trying to be funny here, but it keeps the flow alive, right? Like what happens with flow is that like if it hits any kind of wall, it stops. All right, we should just free hoop, I think. I forgot what I was going to play. Oh yeah, okay, we'll play this. All right, so this will be our free hoop now. Thank you guys for joining us. Fire away if you have any questions. I'll be demoing some of this stuff, and a song in here from SoundCloud just for a second because I've been wanting to try this one out since we're free hooping. Might be a good time to try it. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Tara, for joining me, baby. Sweet, Amy. Thanks for dropping in. That's cool. Okay, I like that one. That was a good one. All right. So I think we'll do, let me do something super, super chill. And we'll call it, yeah, we'll call it a night. Let's just, don't listen to this a little more. Yeah, I think this goes up. Now let's do something super chill. We're going to go super chill. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We're going to keep it super stretchy and easygoing to finish the night. You're welcome, Anastasia. Thank you. You're welcome, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.